themselves as the go-to guys on low end of the field with Georgia. They figured out a formula that's been working, which is why they're first in the conference rankings today. Yeah, and it's going to be a good one for sure. Whether you're in the water in the lower 80s at kickoff, it's 5 p.m. on the East Coast here, and it's going to be a hot one on the field for sure. Let's quickly go through the starting lineups. We'll start with the Lakers over Clayton State. Number 1, Marcio Blueberry. Number 2, Sami Takuchi. Number 4, Muhammad Winters. Number 5, Tommy Choga. Number 6, Miguel Torresillas. Number 9, Gonzalez Chico. Number 10, Alexis Arturia. Number 11, Camilo Reyes. Number 12, Andre Jimenez. Number 19, Alex Rodriguez. And number 23, Aaron Diaz. And we look on for North Georgia showing off. Number 6, Vukan Shane Markovic. And then number 7, House Osman Basic. Number 8, Rafael Olivia Pais. Number 9, Santiago Tano. Number 10, Jorge Sandoval. In the water. Number 12, Mikey Jensen. Number 13, Ron Rita. Number 14, DJ Shin. Number 17, Alejandro De Viera. Number 29, Owen Wilson. Number 98, Alexis Nikic. Nikic has been getting a majority of the starts in goal this year for North Georgia. He's kind of been their go-to guy this season. Moving into this position in the end. Thrown by De Viera. North Georgia contested towards the box. Parties. Clayton State gets their feet on this one and ball the bounce out of bounds. I mentioned here, Rafael Olivia Pais is tearing up for the Nighthawks in the last couple of games for them and has been a key part of their offense and getting goals into the back of the net. They were Pittsburgh Conference Player of the Week. Rafael's been on the tail in the last handful of games. He's been kind of a go-to guy when it comes to the PKs since North Georgia has a good opportunity now. The ball kicked and sailed into the box, but picked up by Clayton State. Now, this is a series normally dominated by the Lakers. Now, North Georgia in their last matchup against Clayton State last year, they would pick up the win against the Lakers. And it was 2-1 win here in the water here, just a little less than a year ago, coming on October 18th of last year. Yeah, that was really a defining moment during the regular season, really the entire season for North Georgia men's soccer. Last year, Clayton State had beat them pretty good in the first matchup of the regular season, and back here at home, North Georgia mounted a comeback win to beat Clayton State, and for the Nighthawk faithful, it was really one of the best atmospheres here at the MSOC soccer field last year. It was an exciting win for sure here in the water. North Georgia picked up their first win against Clayton State in 3 years, and then sailed into the box. The Clayton State player on the other side. And they picked that one up. Gonzalez picked over towards the circle. And it's going to be kicked back to Nikic. One contested on the far side. It's against North Georgia. So they're throwing four of the Lakers. Lakers sporting a mainly late jersey combination with white stripes at the front of their uniforms. The Nighthawks in their clean all blacks tonight for the blackout tailgate. Tailgate always seems to bring out some of the best crowds of the season. This and always when you throw in the one, a lot of these events, there's a lot of free in there for the Nighthawks if they want to make something happen early in this game. So, quick opportunity here for North Georgia. Not even 5 minutes into this one. Another set piece for the Nighthawks. So this one into the box, into the way by Clayton State. Ball bouncing high in the air. They catch up in the box. It will be way old man goalpost. They took a couple of bounces and a couple of touches, but North Georgia really got a good look there on that one. Unfortunately, they just hooked a bit right on the shot. I think it was Connell trying to do it early. The ball on the right wing, whistle called. There goes North Georgia. I think it was Owen Wally there on the contact line, so strong news is going to be a free kick for Clayton State. The kick goes over to over. Clayton State. That one kicked out of bounds by Clayton State player. So North Georgia will have throwing. Push to the goal. First 5 minutes North Georgia's really been the aggressor, so really haven't seen a lot of action over here on this left side with Lukic. Alexa Lukic in goal for the Nighthawks. Mauricio Orobi in goal for the Lakers tonight. We're missing about 7 starts from Lukic in the Nighthawk uniform. He's proven to be a staple in goal for them this year. Averages about 5 saves per game, leads the PBC save percentage, second best in the entire conference, and he's been tested with 34 saves this year, and he's been up to the job as a top 15 mark actually. He's an example when he thinks of this North Georgia roster that's really stepped up big for them this year. The other squad, you gotta watch out for Robert on this Lakers squad. Alexis Etudia is certainly a player to watch out for. Clayton State coming into the season with the 16th ranked team in the nation. There's Alejandro Davietta left near side. Now Clayton State has it. Over to Trevor. You're absolutely right there. Etudia is the player that North Georgia has to have circled coming into this matchup, really hitting his touches as much as he can coming into this one. One of the best strikers in the Peach Bowl Conference. The past 2 games hasn't scored a goal, but no 4 goals prior. So last 2 games, Clayton State played against Florida. He played 17 minutes there, and then the most recent matchup against Georgia Gwinnett, he played 45 minutes. Didn't get a goal in either of those games. Clayton State in the last 2. The last 2 are Florida and beat Georgia Gwinnett College 3-1. And won for Georgia. Lukic picks that one up. And that's one of the best that the Lakers have had so far in this matchup. Again, Lukic not having to do too much to on that play. Top by Lukic. And on the far side, forward for the Nighthawks. DJ Shenshall throwing it in for North Georgia. DJ Shen has quietly been putting together a really good season Clayton State. Trying to have something here. I tell you, with the jokes on the North Georgia defender and Wilkich coming up with the catch there. And underrated quarterback play, Owen Wallace making the stop on, like I mentioned, one of the best strikers in the Pittsburgh Conference. Wallace is just a freshman, but he's got a lot of respect on this North Georgia team. He's played the most minutes out of any player on this North Georgia roster. And he makes it a great play now. Yeah, that's a player that's certainly watch out for in the matchup with Alexis. Returning a great season last season with Clayton State. Yeah, that 2023 campaign team and goals and assists last year. Led the entire country with 103 shots. First time All-American and a bunch of other awards for Victoria. And again, leads the team in points this year too, so it's still a player you gotta watch out for. So I think you're gonna get the throw in. That's what I feel. Clayton State almost with the tackle right now over to Daviano. To Johnson at midfield. Daviano on the near side. Yeah, Daviano's probably an immature customer. Long-time watcher of North Georgia soccer has seen it's the truth pretty hard there. There's Andre Jimenez that slammed down Daviano there with the little bit of an accidental contact. Still with the placement of the ball was nonetheless called against Clayton State. So see the shade. Hill hangs a lot of their covering the ball. 25% of the field on the it's towards the right wing. So now this affects things going forward for the rest of the game. I'll tell you what, but after just a non-stop rain last weekend from Hurricane Helene, it's really nice to see the sun out here for this matchup. This is cloudy all weekend in the North Georgia mountains. Had 2 games moved around due to Hurricane Helene last week. Georgia. In this first half, Vincent Toad actually on the left side, going up against a really just all-around great Clayton State team. The back line great, and the attacking has been great as well. So North Georgia's really great so far out this first 13 minutes or so. There's some good defensive stops by North Georgia's defense. Heads this one over to Vukovic. This is goal for North Georgia. Really, it's been probably the biggest area that North Georgia has had to work on for this first handful of games is just having their back line on the same page as Vukovic. We've seen a couple of miscommunications early on in the season between basic and getting after it. Full on North Georgia in the first few games. No doubt about it, he's been one of the biggest additions to this North Georgia team this year. Coming over from Nighthawk was one of the best players for about 4 years, and he's already established himself as one of the best players on this North Georgia team in just the first 7 or 8 games of the season. And this week, Raphael Romero Paris was selected as conference. So it was taken away. This Osman Basic. For 15 minutes into this matchup between Clayton State and North Georgia. The ref has just been so good this year for North Georgia. 91 points, leads the PBC, leads the conference in game-winning goals too. Both can press State on towards the left wing. North Georgia trying to set up something. We're kind of seeing the bouncing attack be quite even. This is cold. See what's going on against Clayton State. North Georgia on the attacking end, and Clayton State with a full response, but in his first 3-4 minutes it's more dangerous. Three of these two back lines really stepping up and making points. They're kicking this one in. Now going to go to the back. And Nighthawk kicking that one away. Put him in a dangerous situation now for the Nighthawks. There's Osman Basic on the right wing. They're digging this one in. And the ball is out of bounds. This is going to be the first corner opportunity of the game for North Georgia. There was a nice touchdown between Osman Basic and Pace. These are probably the last two players that Clayton State wants to see in this situation, and we'll see if the Nighthawks can capitalize off this first corner of the game. So Ron Luda is going to be on the kick for the Nighthawks. On the right corner. Basic had a lot of room to work there too. He was just exposed by a couple of Clayton State players here on the end. He's going to take advantage of any of those opportunities. The last thing you want to do is give Osman Basic room to work with. very annoying to pick up in the off-season for Coach Leach, getting Austin Basic back to North Georgia already knows the man with this program. First real campaign for his first collegiate season, and he's very familiar with this program, and he's seemed to fit right back in with this North Georgia team this year. Nighthawk's trying to set up the run. Triple attack here. Paris. And Clayton staying with the takeaway. Paris didn't have too much hope. And now trying down, but Nighthawks couldn't make something happen here. Good opportunity with Connor. And Connor over towards the right wing. Tosses over to Osman Basic. Osman Basic kicked the foot then. Johnson over there. There's a wall. The full slide. Just sliding kick by DJ Shin. The Clayton State's really forcing North Georgia to the left and right sides. Haven't been able to get anything going up here in the middle. See a little bit more action from North Georgia's portion than we've seen Clayton State so far in this matchup. Gets sealed into the box. Maybe in the middle for North Georgia. And underrated, Clayton got there by Dave there. That's not going to go down. And the scoreboard is anything but vicious. They don't need there by Dave there to make the stop. Standing on the outside. Johnson. And headed here by Clayton State defender. That's what I've seen a lot so far, Robin, in this game. North Georgia sailing into the box, and Clayton State players were unable to get it out cleanly. We're almost 25 minutes into this matchup. Of course, there'll be a lot of momentum into this game as well, especially with man Jamal on the left side, PBC Defensive Player of the Week for Clayton State. He's been an anchor for a stout defensive unit for the Anchors. We have 9 goals on 76 shots this all season long. Those come far and few between against Clayton State. We saw the Beavers tripped up. Lukic able to pick this one up for the Nighthawks. That was a really great job by Beavers to seeing the box and the lands right into Alexa Lukic's hands. She's going to try to set something up here. Like we mentioned earlier, Lukic has been just set a decent break through his first handful of games of the season. Top 15 in the nation in saves this year with 34. He's going to be racking up some more here in this matchup against the high-powered Clayton State offense. 25 minutes into this one, still scoreless in this matchup between North Georgia and Clayton State. And goes to the far side with substitutions coming in. Stepping onto the pitch for North Georgia. Clayton is a veteran on this North Georgia team, and junior Converse. Junior Converse, I should say, took a really big leap And Spider-Wise, what I told you, you know, we deflected off the one of the Clayton State defenders. You might have been those Georgians just shot at goal on the game so far. It looks like somebody that's moved on the piece of it after Alvaro took the shot, so maybe Clayton State's ball may only be interested. Great midfield from Moore, still looking to get him going here. He's still looking for his first goal of the 2024 season. State moving the ball. Now back over to Georgia. Probably trying to make some moves near the box. All 4 seconds, DJ Shin. Now back in the deep end. Obama, Spider. Jason trying to figure out how to get it to Wells. With Georgia. Nikovic sailing this one in towards the right lane. This is called, looks like it's against North Georgia. This is a tough break there for North Georgia. They had a handful of opportunities there to try to find some cracks in this defense for Clayton State. Couldn't get anything going there again. Clayton State's really been swarming the middle of the field. They've really been forcing North Georgia to move to the left and move to the right, and so really just kind of shortening this field for them here in this game. Clayton State trying to make something happen here.
check, 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 check.
We apologize for the technical difficulties here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Devin Kupka alongside Robert D. Clemente. Scoreless game so far here in Dahlonega between North Georgia and Clayton State. Got 12 minutes left in the first half. Clayton State trying to make something happen here. And Lukic able to scoop that one up for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, luckily didn't miss too much, but just a couple of great defensive plays by both teams with these last handful of minutes.
And to recap the game so far, it's been, for the most part, pretty evenly based between both squads here. North Georgia maybe favoring them a little bit more than Clayton State, but not a whole ton of shots on goal so far in this game. Pretty evenly matched, as we've yet to see a goal in this matchup, as we got just a little over 10 minutes till we get to halftime here in Dahlonega. And we're going to have subs coming in. On the far side, North Georgia. Looks like Raid's going to be stepping off, and then Miguel Romero coming on the pitch for North Georgia. He's stepping on for Rafael Oliveira Pais, the stud for the Nighthawks, who won the Peach Belt Player of the Week this week in the Peach Belt Conference. Scored a goal in both of North Georgia's conference road wins last week. As we mentioned, North Georgia on a 3-game winning streak, all of them coming against Peach Belt Conference opponents.
It looks like we have a bit of a stoppage of time here as well in this first half.
Looks like there's a North Georgia player on the far side. Looks like he was tying his shoe. Looks like that was Vukashin Lokovic over there. As we resume play here in Dahlonega. That ball bouncing off a Nighthawk player. Now Clayton State setting up a counteroffensive. They're charging, trying to get into the box. Couple North Georgia defenders there. And that one just slipping past the hands of Alexa Lukic. It looked like that was number 19, Alex Rodriguez, over there on the pressure for Clayton State.
Yeah, a couple of sweet moves there from Rodriguez, trying to maneuver his way into scoring position, though. Couldn't quite come away with anything, but this is going to be a good opportunity for Clayton State on the corner.
So corner kick for Clayton State. We haven't seen many of those so far in this one. Sail this one into the box. Immediately looked like met by the feet of DJ Shin for North Georgia. And then kicked immediately away by Lokovic.
Yeah, well done, keeper!
And Lukic coming up with the grab there for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, Lukic showing just why he is, been such a great addition to this North Georgia team. Another great save there. He is quickly working his way up the ranks nationally in saves this season.
So now North Georgia moving this over to the right wing, and that one caught by Clayton State's goalkeeper, Mauricio Arube, the junior out of Miami, Florida. So we've under 10 minutes to go here in this first half. Still scoreless between North Georgia and Clayton State.
Now, the Lakers have really split up their goalkeeping duties between Arube and David Magala this year. Both have played roughly the same amount of games, similar stats, but that's a plus for the Lakers to have two players that you can put in goal and have faith that they're going to get the job done.
Clayton State trying to make something happen here. Got multiple Nighthawks around the ball. Now this one over to Torres-Silas. Cias. And that one over to the far side. Rolls out of bounds, but still Clayton State ball.
And we've seen both of these teams, North Georgia and Clayton State, earlier in the year. They do a lot of damage with, just a few minutes left on the clock, whether that's the first half or the second half of the game. They really do a decent amount of damage in the first few minutes of the half or the last few minutes of a half. We could potentially see one of these teams break through here in these final few minutes, trying to go into the locker room with the lead.
Number 39, Stefan Shongo, stepping onto the pitch for North Georgia.
Yeah, Shongo, one of the most accurate foots on the team. 11 shots this year. 9 of them have come on goal. 2 of them have found the back of the net. He's really been a spark off the bench for North Georgia all season long.
Now this one kicked into the box. Clayton State kicking it away now towards midfield. Now over in the direction of Alexis Ituria. That one sailed way over the goal.
That was the right idea, though, from Clayton State. Lukic a little bit farther out of the box than probably North Georgia would have liked there on that play. They tried to just boot one over them, but a little bit too strong on the play.
Lukovic on there on the far side for the Nighthawks. Lukovic kicking this one deep over into the direction of Vitelli on the right wing. Vitelli contested ball with a Clayton State defender. That one headed inside the box. And that one's going to be out of bounds, but against Clayton State. There's a good open opportunity there for the Nighthawks to put the first goal up of the game.
Yeah, aside from coming away with a goal, that's probably exactly what you wanted here if you're North Georgia, to get in a good position here with Sandoval. He's been your go-to corner guy pretty much all season long. Definitely putting the pressure on the Lakers here.
And it looks like the corner kick looks like it's going to be Ram Lorda on the corner kick for the Nighthawks. We're sailing this one in. Going to be headed by Jensen. And now Clayton State trying to set up a counteroffensive. So this one's kicked over. And Jensen kind of flew in the air here. Dangerous one-on-one situation, and looks like they're calling offsides against Clayton State. And what would have been number 8, Fala Johnson Jr. for Clayton State, one-on-one with North Georgia's Alexa Lukic.
Yeah, Jensen tried to step in there to make the diving save to stop that momentum from Clayton State. That was a close call.
Yeah, close call here for Dave Vienna. Almost collided heads with Andre Jimenez. Dave Vienna throws this one into the box over to now Clayton State kicking it out their end. A nice kick by Lukovic. But ends up ending up in the goalkeeper's hands. Arube.
Yeah, Lukovic, player that we haven't really been able to talk to much in this first half. He was a standout freshman at LSU Shreveport. Was the freshman of the year in the Red River Athletic Conference. A big pickup in the offseason for Coach Lilich.
You know, in high school, you go 5-5 and PKs if it's a region game. And this is a conference game, so I don't know.
Kicked out of bounds. Got under 3 minutes left to go in this first half.
Yes, I think we would.
Ball being contested at midfield. Now the Lakers on the move with the ball. Johnson Jr. trying to juke out Dave Vienna.
Yeah, nice job by Dave Vienna standing his ground there, forcing Clayton State back into their defense.
That one over into the feet of Lukovic, but will bounce off his feet, land out of bounds, and throw in for Clayton State. They try to sail this one into the box, and that one was a very close call for the Nighthawks. That one just going left of the post.
Yeah, that was probably the best look Clayton State has had so far in this game. Really forcing Lukic to fall to his left to try to make the play, but that one just hooked it a little too far to the side.
That would look like that was made by Alexis Itoria. Dangerous player to watch out for on the pitch if you're North Georgia. Now this one over to the near right side. Dave Vienna trying to kick that one in, but gets behind the net on that one as we have less than 90 seconds to go in this first half.
Yeah, right idea by Dave Vienna. If he was able to just hook that one a little bit farther left, had a couple of Nighthawks in the vicinity to try to answer that play.
Got a minute left in the first half. Scoreless between both of these programs. As this one was looking like it's going to come down to the wire. Clayton State trying to make something happen. Now Romero on the far side will roll out of bounds. Romero going to do the throw in. Excuse me, not anymore.
No, I got gas at the QT across from Walker.
Looks like it's going to be TJ Shin throwing it in for North Georgia. Immediately headed by a Laker player. Whistle. Looks like we're going to have a free kick here for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, late first half opportunity here.
But only 15 seconds left to go in the first half. It's like that Sandoval sailing that one in the box, but immediately lands into the hands of Arube, as this will bring an end to the first half here in Dahlonega. Scoreless game here at North Georgia between the Nighthawks and Clayton State, and a big Peach Belt Conference game as we're going to take you to halftime. And when we come back, Robert DiClemente and I will break down the first half and preview what is to come in the second half. Game's tied at 0-0, so we head to halftime here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
All right, show me how you did that again. I'm here.
You've got a lot of reasons to be here.
I'm
here.
That's why we're here. At Georgia Heart Institute, our breakthroughs in artificial intelligence could accurately model and predict future heart problems decades in advance, so you can make plans today to be just where you're needed tomorrow.
Oh, I'm here.
The future of heart care. We're leading Georgia there. Georgia Heart Institute.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
At the heart of America's gold rush stands a beacon of leadership, tradition, and excellence. A university that has always led the way, forging an environment for broad-based academics, world-class athletics, and tomorrow's military leaders. The University of North Georgia. Learning and leadership, passion and preparation, transformation and tradition. We are the University of North Georgia.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Northeast Georgia Health System, the official healthcare partner of UNG Athletics. Bryan Properties, serving all your commercial real estate needs. Dahlonega Resort and Vineyard, escape to the North Georgia mountains for your next weekend getaway. Achasta, golf, community, and tranquility. Coca-Cola, the official sideline provider for North Georgia Athletics.
We welcome you into the Nighthawk Sports Network halftime report. Devin Kupka alongside Robert D. Clemente. North Georgia Clayton State tied at 0 in what is a big Peach Belt Conference matchup as North Georgia atop of the Peach Belt standings. But Robert, what was your main takeaway coming out of the first half?
And both of these defenses just looked stellar through the first 45 minutes. Not something that we expected to see. Clayton State always putting out, one of the best back lines, especially with the defensive player of the week in the PBC, Othmane Chagor, on your team. And North Georgia's back line has been really strong as well. And we've seen the defense for Clayton State kind of force North Georgia to the left and right side. Haven't really been able to get anything going up the middle. And for Clayton State, it's been the opposite. North Georgia has really kind of made the field even skinnier for Clayton State, and they've had to really operate in the middle of the field. Both goalkeepers tested about the same, not too much, have had to make, just a couple of plays, both of the goalkeepers for North Georgia and Clayton State. It's been a tightly contested first half, but we know, whenever these two teams match up against one another, especially from what we saw last year, the second half is really where things get started. We saw North Georgia come away with the comeback win last year, a very dramatic finish to that game, and with this one tied at 0-0 on the scoreboard, we could probably expect another dramatic finish in this one as well.
Yeah, we're seeing from both squads, Rafael Oliveira, Pais, and Alexis Aituria, both teams able to keep those two players, Aituria for Clayton State and Pais for North Georgia, both being able to keep both teams keeping them at bay in the first half so far. What do you see any of these players exploding and putting any of these two teams ahead?
Absolutely. I can see either one of these players in the second half really break through. We've seen, both as soon as, Aituria or Pais is, as soon as they get the ball, they're swarmed by a couple of players. They, have a lot of attention on them coming into this matchup, rightfully so. As we mentioned, Pais, the PBC Player of the Week, and Aituria is one of the best strikers, and not just the Peach Belt Conference. Last year was one of the best strikers in all the nation, led the country with 103 shots last year, so he's definitely going to get his. Even though he didn't have too many opportunities in that first half, expect for him to really break through here in the second half. Same thing for Pais. Expect him to be much more involved here in the final 45 minutes.
Yeah, and we saw a little bit of a momentum shift from Clayton State towards the end of the first half. What do you see how North Georgia can maybe reshape that momentum and put up a goal on the board?
I definitely think that these first few minutes of the second half are going to be super crucial. Like we mentioned in that first half, we've seen North Georgia really thrive in the first few minutes and also let up some goals in the first few minutes coming out of the halftime break. So, the first about 5 minutes or so are going to be very, very crucial for North Georgia coming out the gates. We'll see if they can get a goal early against the Lakers here.
Currently tied here at halftime in Dahlonega between North Georgia and Clayton State. But we look, it's a final in Flagler down in Florida. They beat Georgia Southwestern 3-0. This is the only other Peach Belt Conference game going on tonight. We look at the standings real quick. North Georgia up top, and then Flagler second, Georgia Southwestern third, and Clayton State fourth, and then Lander fifth and USC Aiken fifth. Lander and USC Aiken was supposed to play today, but that game got postponed. Well, this will bring an end to the Nighthawk Sports halftime report here in Dahlonega. Game tied at 0. When we come back on NSN, we'll have the second half for you right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
At the University of North Georgia, education is more than just a degree. That's why we understand student success is based on 4 interconnected pillars: academic achievement, sense of purpose, well-being, and belonging and engagement. Each pillar reinforces the others, forming the strong foundation that helps UNG students succeed during their time here. Academic achievement is what happens when students work hard and succeed in their studies. At UNG, no matter what degree you're pursuing, you'll receive support throughout your academic journey. We're here to assist with securing internships and study abroad opportunities, as well as other helpful resources like tutoring and advising to improve grades and prepare you for your future career. As a student, you develop a sense of purpose by exploring your unique strengths and personal values. This self-discovery happens when you join clubs, volunteer for community outreach, and participate in leadership activities. When you connect your strengths and values with your academic goals, you'll be able to make meaningful choices about your educational and career pathways. Well-being refers to the overall state of being healthy, happy, and prosperous. It's defined through 8 key dimensions: career, environmental, financial, intellectual, mental, physical, social, and spiritual well-being. When students maintain a healthy level of well-being across these areas, they can better manage stress and anxiety while enhancing their resilience and leadership abilities. Our Live Well UNG initiative promotes healthy behaviors and strategies for achieving overall well-being. We also understand the importance of belonging and engagement in fostering student success. This means feeling supported socially and connected to others on campus. From community building events to cohort programs and clubs, our goal is to make sure every student feels connected, valued, and empowered. At the heart of the University of North Georgia lies a commitment to academic excellence. It's about achieving dreams, finding purpose, enriching your well-being, and forging lifelong connections. Wherever you are in your educational journey, we are here to help you every step of the way.
Hey Nighthawks, I am fired up to welcome you to the new chow. You are not going to believe what we're about to show you. Check this out. Welcome to the new chow where you are going to eat like Nigel. What's going on in chow? First of all, better flow through this place. Remember the traffic jams you used to be in? 2, better healthy eating choices and better opportunities for to get the foods that you want. And then what's really cool, on the far side of chow are new study and collaboration spaces where you'll be able to hang out with your friends, study for tests, work on projects. And in the outer part of that area is a room with a projector system where you can do big group events. This place is off the hook and you are going to enjoy it.
Welcome you back here in Dahlonega for the second half between North Georgia and Clayton State. If you're just tuning in, Devin Kupka joined alongside Robert DiClemente. And Robert, it was a scoreless affair in the first half. We only had 5 shots, only 3 of them translated to shots on goal in the first half. So it's been a defensive holdout between both of these teams. But Robert, we're coming out of halftime. You know, what do you think we can expect coming into the second half?
Definitely, these two teams they turn up the intensity in the second half. We know these matchup against North Georgia and Clayton State. They know how to get things rocking and rolling in the final 45 minutes. Expect to see definitely a lot more action. The intensity is going to be bumped up probably to 110% here in the second half. North Georgia still looking for their first shot. Haven't had a single shot off through those first 45 minutes, so expect to see them to be more aggressive in the final 45.
We saw the momentum shift a little bit there, as it was mentioned on the halftime report, that momentum was shifting in Clayton State's favor a little bit towards the end of that first half. Clayton State going to kick this one off to begin the second half of North Georgia and Clayton State. This now one over in the right wing area. North Georgia looking to set up a counterattack early on. All right, wing. That one deflected off the foot of Alejandro de Viena.
Yeah, like we mentioned during the halftime break, these first few minutes are going to be really telling on how the rest of this game is going to shape up.
This ball rolls out of bounds. North Georgia back on it. Now Lora trying to find somebody. Going to kick it back to Lukovic. Also one kicked over towards the left wing where looks like that was Jensen. Now over to Pais. That one back over to midfield. Time stop. It looks like there's going to be a yellow card against Mikey Jensen. And it is. In collision with Alexis Ituria, and Clayton State. Ituria, not a player you want to go down on the field.
Absolutely, yeah, he's still down there. Hopefully he's all right. Able to get back up to his feet, though. That's a good sign, but yeah, it's definitely not a player that you can afford to lose in this game if you're Clayton State. Just a bit too aggressive on the contact there by North Georgia, and stops the clock early in this first half to give Clayton State this free kick opportunity just to the left of midfield.
So is Mikey Jensen picking up the yellow flag. Jensen, that's his fourth yellow card that he's picked up on the season thus far. Only 2 yellow cards have been issued in the game so far. One to North Georgia and one to Clayton State. One issue to Clayton State was very early on in the game. Clayton State trying to make something happen. So it's tumbling around in the box. North Georgia able to kick it out. And Aram Lorda there. Kick it away, but Dan gets right back in the feet of Clayton State. But Lorda trying to make a charge for North Georgia.
Yeah, the Nighthawks have Osmond Basic on the left, too.
So that one was headed back by Chagar of Clayton State.
He's been a big reason why this game has stayed at 0-0, keeping North Georgia off the board, the PBC Defender of the Week. He has just made a couple of plays just like that here in this game.
Lukovic kicking this one over to DJ Shin. Now over to Osman Basic. Osman Basic back over to Shin. Now Lukovic. Kicking this one far to Osman Basic. And that one's going to get headed away and eventually caught by goalkeeper Arube. So Osman Basic had a Laker defender on him, and plus Mauricio Arube as well to get through.
That's a dangerous opportunity there for North Georgia. Osman Basic, the last player that you want to see in that situation. He's just got so much speed and so much power. And if he's got a breakaway like that, odds are he's getting a shot off on goal most of the time.
Now Lukovic to the far side of the pitch. Now kicking over to the left wing. Alejandro de Viena is there. Almost gets tripped up by a Laker defender. And the Laker is able to come out with the takeaway. So when sails back, whistle called. It looks like Pete Peterson, the head coach of Clayton State, upset on the sideline.
Yeah, haven't really been able to touch on Coach Peterson a lot in this one. One of the most successful PBC coaches in men's soccer history. He's been with the program for 20 years now. Second most career wins in the PBC. Continues to build on his Hall of Fame resume.
In their opening game of the season, Peterson picked up his 200th career win with the Clayton State Lakers. Game coming against Converse in the opening match. Nighthawk player goes down. And now Clayton State on a charge. See what they do here. Clayton State going to shoot this one, but goes over the goal. As we say, scoreless 5 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, and over there on the left side of the field, Pais is definitely feeling something in his left wrist, is shaking it over there on the left side. He took a shot and fell to the turf. Looked like he was holding down his knee, but when he got up, definitely seemed to be grimacing a bit, favoring that.
Some really good players from both programs taking big hits 5 minutes into the second half. Whistle called foul against Clayton State. We're 5 minutes into this one, 0-0. 6 shots, all by Clayton State. North Georgia has gotten close a few times, but not able to get a shot off. This one gets passed back to Arube.
That's now 40 saves on the season for Lukic. He's just been a really great player in goal for North Georgia all season long. Has been their go-to guy here in 2024.
Now ball contested on the far side as they try to work towards the right wing. North Georgia trying to get a takeaway here. Austin Basic coming over to the near side to defend up against Takayuchi. And that one getting sailed into the box. That one headed away by DJ Shin. That went into the box and went off the foot of Lukovic. Now ball being contested over there in Kano's direction. Whistle called against Clayton State. Now Osman Basic, whistle called again. Looked like Clayton State member wasn't ready to go. Might have been number 19, Alex Rodriguez for the Lakers. Not ready to go as he was adjusting looked like his socks.
Yeah, Nighthawks were really trying to work quickly there on that free kick. Had a streaking Osman Basic on the left side. They were able to keep that going. That spelled danger for Clayton State.
Yeah, and Osman Basic is one of the Nighthawks that's seen a lot of action there inside the box. We saw it earlier in the first half. We saw one just not too long ago either here in the second half.
Well, my cousin is in Brevard, and they're up on a ridge, and they're fine, but there were trees all on the roads.
Yeah, Osman Basic played a limited amount of games in his freshman season, but in the minutes that he saw, he was arguably one of the best players on this North Georgia team, and now that he's got a couple of collegiate seasons underneath his belt back with the Nighthawks, he's proven again to be a very, very good player for them.
Yes.
Now the ball moving over in the right wing. North Georgia trying to kick it out. Let's kick it out of play. Throw in for the Lakers. Referee having to duck there. Whistle called. Foul against Clayton State.
And again, every time North Georgia tries to get a touch in the middle of the field, they are just swarmed by a handful of midfielders and defenders for Clayton State. Much like we saw during the first half, North Georgia's just really been limited to the left and right sides of the field.
Yeah, and you saw it there earlier, too, with Osman Basic not having that one-on-one situation. It was a 2-on-1 with Osman Basic earlier in the second half. Just over 10 minutes in the second half. Osman Basic with the nice kick. We'll see what he has here, and Clayton State defender able to get there on time and kicked out by the goalkeeper, Arube.
He's definitely the number one target for North Georgia here in this second half, trying to get him going. He's found his rhythm late.
Clayton State trying to make a charge, but it goes right off from behind. DJ Shin, and now North Georgia on the charge. Now Laura getting that one over. Now over to Osman Basic on the near side. Osman Basic over to Rafael Oliveira Pais, and that broken up by Mohamed Moraz for Clayton State.
Yeah, Nighthawks just didn't have numbers there. Pais had a good opportunity to keep it on the ground. If Nighthawk was in the vicinity, could have been looking at a different score here for this game.
So once again, Clayton State on the charge again. Whistle called. Subs coming on for, looks like for the Nighthawks, 2 players coming on to the pitch. Looks like one of them is going to be Miguel Romero. And then the one on the, towards the, is number 2, Quinn Thompson. Quinn Thompson, the senior out of Hull, England.
Yeah, Quinn Thompson, all season long, he's just been providing a spark off the bench here for North Georgia. Hasn't seen any action in this game yet. Gets a substitution late here in this one in the second half. See what he can do.
See what Clayton State. Here's a one-on-one situation for the Lakers. That one broken up by Rafael Oliveira Pais. And that pass was intended for Osman Basic, but broken up there by Isami Takayuchi. Now over into Lora. Osman Basic trying to get there, but whistle called. Going to be against North Georgia as a Clayton State player has gone down onto the pit. Has gone down on the pitch. We'll get a number check on here. That was number 10, Alexis I. Turia, the star player for Clayton State, the senior midfielder out of Hampton, Georgia.
Yeah, he's hit the turf a couple times here in this second half. Like we mentioned, he's going to have all the attention on him coming into this game. He leads the team in points this year, was one of the best strikers last year, and that's still up for grabs this year. He's going to get his opportunities.
And when sailed into the box, will land out of bounds. But Alexis Itodia, we mentioned there, senior out of Hampton, Georgia, went to Lovejoy High School. And what you can consider the home college over there is Clayton State is the closest college to the Hampton, Georgia area. So now this one's kicked over, headed away by Clayton State. Ball lands out of bounds. And for a North Georgia throw-in. Thompson on the far side going to throw it in. Ball landing over in the left wing as it will land out of bounds against Clayton State.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell that the intensity dials have been, turned up here in this second half. Bodies are hitting the turf. Crowd starting to get into it a little bit more here in the second half as the lights are coming on as well. It tends to be when it starts to get dark outside, you definitely, feel the intensity is definitely ramped up a bit.
I'd say about 98% of the field now covered by the shade here in Dahlonega at Lynn Cottrell Park. Clayton State making a charge here. Now over to Takayuchi. Now they're inside the box. Clayton State trying to kick that one in, but it'll go off the foot of Thompson. And Thompson there again with the double defend.
Yeah, Thompson, like we mentioned, is just a spark off the bench for North Georgia. And he has been around the block from young Harris. He has played in many, many games just like this, and he makes another great play there for North Georgia.
I don't think I got into the attacking third much at all.
Oh, Wallace kicking that way on the far side of the field, around midfield. Now back into the feet of Mauricio Rube.
I was talking to a friend of Sue's that
We're trying to contest that one. Pais almost getting that one. Pais down, gets shoved down to the ground, looking for a call here. No call. Quinn Thompson on the right wing will get that one out of bounds. So looks like we're going to have a throw in for Clayton State on the right wing.
Yeah, Pais definitely not happy there. Had his jersey tugged and went to the turf.
Now North Georgia trying to make a counterattack here. Quinn Thompson on the near the right wing. We'll go out of bounds. And we're going to have subs coming in for the Nighthawks as Pais will go off the field. It looks like number 19, Will Bentley, is on the pitch for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, Bentley, a fan favorite here in Dahlonega, making his debut in this game. At least he's played in a handful of games earlier in the season. He is another veteran on this North Georgia squad, a familiar face here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Lukovic kicking this one deep to Osman Basic. He heads this one up in the air, goes for another header, and this ball will land out of bounds. Throw in from DJ Shin. Shin throwing this one over to Will Bentley. Will Bentley and Austin Basic over there. It's right on the line and kicked out by Clayton State. Trying to say North Georgia was the last team to touch that ball.
Yeah, this is going to be an opportunity here for North Georgia. Ball deflected off of a couple of Clayton State players over there on the far side. This is a great opportunity.
They kick this one into the box. Thompson there, but then gets kicked out by Clayton State. Now Clayton State trying to make a charge. Lukovic there to break it up. DJ Shin gonna have to pass this one back to Lukic as Lukic kicks this one back out to the circle. That one headed away by a Clayton State player. That one rolling on the line, out of bounds. North Georgia throw in here. It's got under 30 minutes left to go. Still scoreless in this matchup. Devin Kupka alongside Robert D. Clemente. North Georgia trying to pick up some momentum here in the second half. As it's been Clayton State a lot of this game. 9 shots for Clayton State. 11 shots for Clayton State. 3 of them being on goal. It's been a defensive battle in and out this whole entire game. Foul against North Georgia. Aram Lora and looks like Miguel Romero were involved there.
I will say it has been a very stout defensive battle between these two teams, but clean as well, like you mentioned. Just one yellow card for each side in this matchup.
This one get kicked deep. 2 Nighthawk defenders are down there. And DJ Shin getting tripped up just outside the box. Now Lukovic, see where he sends this one. Send it over to the near right side to DJ Shin. Now back over to Lukovic. Now starting to get ganged up on some Laker defenders. That one kicked out of play. What will be a throw-in for the Nighthawks. Shin throwing it in. Shin throws this one in towards the direction of Osman Basic, but kicked out of play by Will Bentley.
Well, it looks like the Lakers are going to make some substitutions. Really haven't seen too many of those in this game from the visitor side.
Now, and what might be some of their first substitutions they've made of the game. It's been pretty much North Georgia, the team making the substitutions as 2 players are stepping onto the field for Clayton State. Looks like number 7, Hector Nieto, stepping on for the Lakers. And number 18, Gustavo Canas stepping on as well for the Lakers squad. 25 minutes left to go in this matchup. North Georgia leading the Peach Belt Conference standings going into the matchup tonight. Here in early October as we're pretty much the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how things have played out here in the first half of the year. Clayton State were picked as the clear-cut favorites, ranked at number 1 in the PBC in the preseason poll. North Georgia came in at number 4, and how the things have played out here in these last handful of games. North Georgia finds himself number 1, Clayton State number 4.
And saw Lukic pick it up there.
Now, of course, there's still plenty of games to be played in the Peach Belt Conference. Clayton State's only been able to play 2 PBC games, this being their 3rd. North Georgia's been able to play 2 more PBC games than they have. But still, for the time being, it's got to feel good if you're North Georgia sitting atop the PBC standings.
North Georgia trying to make a charge. Now over to Quinn Thompson on the far side of the field. That one going to get kicked into Cano's area, and that one going to be a shot from Miguel Romero, but goes way over the goal. North Georgia looking to pick up, only for the second time in program history, back-to-back wins against this Clayton State squad. Last time they picked up back-to-back wins came between the 2017 and 2018 seasons. And North Georgia just last year in the 2023 season picking up their first win against the Lakers since the 2020 season that was played in the spring of 2021.
Yeah, we saw the Nighthawks in their last game against Flagler make some history. They beat the Saints on the road for the first time in 12 years. Scored 2 goals in the second half of that one. Beat a really good Flagler team. So they were, we know that they are accustomed to these sorts of big games, not afraid of the moment, and they've got about 23 minutes to establish a really great win.
And we're at big opportunity here for North Georgia. Cano kicking this one, but it's caught by the goalkeeper, Mauricio Urube. Let's take a look back at this replay here. As we see there is...
That was just a great opportunity here for North Georgia.
Santiago Cano not able to come up with that one.
And Cano is a player that has been really involved in the last handful of games, was a PBC preseason all-conference selection, had a great first year with the Nighthawks last year.
2 goals, 1 assist for Cano so far in this season. Clayton State player getting tripped up on the box. Sun really starting to go behind the trees here at Lynn Cottrell Park. 22 minutes left to go in this big Peach Belt Conference matchup. Osman Basic on the charge for North Georgia. We'll see what they have here. Osman Basic tripped up. There's now Clayton State on the counter attack. Now they're inside the box. And goalkeeper not there. And Clayton State scores the first goal in the game with 20 minutes left in the second half. And that was Alexa Lukic. Kind of got out of the goalkeeper area. Couple North Georgia defenders had to go in there and try to defend that one as we look at the replay.
Yeah, Lukic definitely frustrated with himself after that play. Came a bit too far out of the goal there, a bit too far left, and as you can see there, wide open was the goal for Clayton State to capitalize.
So Clayton State goes up 1-0 over North Georgia. 21 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the second half. North Georgia looking to extend their win streak to 4 games in a row. Their last loss came against Lander on the road.
And we knew it was only a matter of time before Clayton State was going to find the back of the net. They've only been shut out once this entire season against Flagler on the road. It's only a matter of time before this high-powered offense broke through.
So see what North Georgia has in store. One deflect. Stefan Shango stepping back onto the pitch for the second time in today's game. Shango right there immediately making an impact. Trying to get that one now over in the Miguel Romero area, and that ball will roll out of bounds, but for a Nighthawk throw-in. Quinn Thompson on the far side. Throws this one in the direction of Romero. Back over to Quinn Thompson. Now deflected away by Clayton State.
These next 20 minutes are going to be some of the most important of the regular season for North Georgia. It doesn't matter where Clayton State stands in the rankings right now. We know that they are a tough team no matter what. North Georgia has struggled with them historically. And if the Nighthawks are able to pull off the comeback here in this second half, it's going to be just a great morale boost for them.
Looks like Kagor kicking this one deep, but now North Georgia in possession again. Over to Thompson on the far side. We reach exactly 20 minutes left to go in the game. Clayton State up 1-0 over North Georgia. There's a trip up there on the far side. Whistle's called. Looks like going against North Georgia and a Clayton State player down on the pitch. He's going to have to tie, readjust his shoe or sock. That was Aaron Diaz over there for Clayton State. It was Alex Rodriguez on the goal earlier.
Yeah, not surprised to see Rodriguez, the beneficiary of that goal, now tied for first on the team with 3 this year. Tied with, like we said, one of the best foots in all of Division II men's soccer, and Alexis Aturia.
Yeah, Aturia has been shut out in the last 2 games. So far hasn't gotten anything in this one either. You have to go back to their game against USC Aiken at home where they won 4-0 over the Pacers. Alexis Ituria scoring 2 goals in that game and a 4-0 win over the Pacers just a few weeks ago.
It looks like a couple vets stepping back into the game for North Georgia, with Vitelli and Daviena checking back in with about 18 and a half to go.
Refs giving the okay signal to Lukic.
What makes this Lakers team just so tough to game plan for is the amount of players that can make you play. It's the 15th goal of the season for the Lakers. It's come from 11 different players here in 2024. So even if you try to focus all of your attention on Ituria, odds are the next man up is going to make you pay for Clayton State, and Rodriguez did just that.
DJ Shin here on the near side for the Nighthawks. Can pass it over to Daviena towards the far side of the field. Now going to be headed away by Takayuchi. Takayuchi and Vitelli there. Now ball being dispersed. And Stefan Shango over there trying to make something happen. And then saw Will Bentley as well trying to make something happen there inside the box.
Yeah, Bentley almost with the sneak up from behind. Almost came away with the ball there on that play.
Whistle called against Clayton State. Now it's kicked over to the near side to DJ Shin. Now over to Vitelli. Vitelli, kick goes off a Clayton State defender. DJ Shin trying to set up something here. He gets headed back out of the box by the Laker. Now over to the far side. Miguel Romero over there for the Nighthawks. Now Shango. Now over to Aaron Diaz. Diaz setting this one towards inside the box, but DJ Shin there for North Georgia.
And if you're Coach Lilich, if you have the ability to, definitely want to reinsert Rafa into this game. We saw him earlier get a bit shaken up Came off the field, was shaking his right wrist. Not sure if we're going to see him again in this matchup. He's got the most game-winning goals in the Peach Belt Conference. Would like to see him back out on the field if you can.
This ball getting kicked over on the left wing. Quinn Thompson trying to get over there on time. Gets hit and falls down on the pitch. No call. As Clayton State regains possession here.
And that spelled trouble for Clayton State. As Thompson, he had a ton of room in front of him to make a play, whether he was going to cross that into the box or try to take the shot.
Now North Georgia with a takeaway here. Lukovic at midfield, now over to Romero. Romero to Thompson on the far side. Thompson's kick gets deflected. Now Romero. Now back over to Lukovic. Now Vitelli trying to get it. Lands out of play. Clayton State player falls on the turf. Gets back up. Foul called against North Georgia. That was Isami Takayuchi. Falling down on the pitch. He's going to throw this one in for the Lakers.
You know, we're only about 8 or 9 games into this regular season. This matchup, though, definitely has a bit of a Peach Belt Conference tournament feel to it. These two teams are battling here. We know these teams have matched up multiple times in recent years in the PBC tournament. Clayton State usually the beneficiary of those ending North Georgia season. So every time these two teams match up, if North Georgia is able to come away with the win, it's just such a big moment for them in the season.
It's a big game. Clayton State previously ranked 16th in the nation coming into the season. Clayton State trying to move this one inside the box and just off the foot of Hector Nieto. So whistle was called.
And again, Lukic was a bit farther to the left there. So if the Lakers were able to get a solid touch on that, that would have been a dangerous opportunity there.
GJ Shin over now to Mikey Jensen. Shin over to Lora. Now Lora over to Shango, and that one gets deflected and lands back up in the feet of Clayton State. Stephon Shango trying to deflect the kick from the goalkeeper. Now over in the direction of Manuel Neto.
Yeah, Shango does most of his damage in the second half. Really in the final few minutes of games, we've seen him be very clutch for North Georgia through these first handful of games of the season. And he may be a player that the Nighthawks are trying to feed in this game as well.
Ball rolls out of play on the right wing. So we got 13 minutes left to go in the second half. North Georgia trailing by 1. Clayton State able to get the first goal of the game at the 65th minute by Alex Rodriguez. Quarter kick for the Lakers. So you have under 13 minutes left to go in this contest. So I set into the box and will land out of play, as North Georgia is going to be sending in 2 members off the bench. And as you mentioned there, Robert, Rafael Oliveira Pais coming back out onto the pitch for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. Great to see that Pais is okay and back into the game. And he's definitely a player that North Georgia has to get going. Also, Jorge Sandoval back into the game as well.
Pais and Sandoval, 2 starters back on the pitch for the Nighthawks, as we've got 12:30 left to go in this heated Peach Belt Conference matchup here in Dahlonega.
Yeah, Sandoval, maybe a freshman on paper, but his skills are that of a senior. Just has an eye for the game, knows exactly where to put the ball.
That one highly contested here and headed into the back of the net by Hector Nieto, as Clayton State will go up 2-0 over North Georgia. As we show you a replay, as it looked like Lukic got a little tripped up there, leaving kind of an open goal situation. And Nieto able to capitalize on the situation for Clayton State as they go up 2-0 in Dahlonega up against the Nighthawks.
That was just a great follow-up by Nieto. The first shot off the mark a little bit too high, followed it up with the header, like you mentioned. Lukic just a bit farther out of his position, and he also looks to be down on the turf as well in goal.
Yeah, it looked like when you saw it there on the replay, looked like something might have happened in the knee area where he got shaken up and fell to the ground, and hopefully he's okay because he's made some good plays so far tonight against Clayton State.
Yeah, he was one of the best goalkeepers last season for his squad over there at Truett McConnell. Started 16 games last year, only allowed 17 goals, had 91 saves with an .843 save percentage, led the Appalachian Athletic Conference, and he comes over to North Georgia after he faced the Nighthawks in a scrimmage last year. Coach Lilich liked what he saw and brought Lukic over, and like we've mentioned, Devin, he has been kind of their go-to man in goal. We've seen Hazel Lay start one game this season. That's a name that you are probably very familiar with hearing on the Nighthawk Sports Network, a veteran on this squad, and depending on the outcome of this situation with Lukic, we may see Lay inserted into this game.
Yeah, towards the right wing, the Hazel Lay already starting to warm up for North Georgia. The athletic trainers looking at Lukic. He fell down awkwardly on the field right there. A header by Nieto putting Clayton State up 2-0. But before that, I think maybe something in his left knee, potentially.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want to see. Like you said, Devin, you can see Lay getting warmed up there over there on the right side of the field. And that next man up mentality here for North Georgia. We've seen them, definitely not at full strength this year. A couple of injuries to their team, specifically, Max Garnett, one of them, is not going to play at all here in this 2024 season. He had surgery that's going to keep him out the entire year. He's a big name that's, missing from this North Georgia team this year. And Lukic, he's still getting checked on over there by the athletic trainers for North Georgia, and that'd be another big loss here. But it looks like he's able to get back up to his feet.
Yeah, that's a good sign there, able to get up on his own power. Hopefully everything's okay with Alexa Lukic. But Hazel Lay, a familiar face as the goalkeeper for North Georgia, as you mentioned there, Robert. But it's an opportunity for both teams to catch their breath. Hoping Lukic is okay there.
Yeah, like you said, definitely gives both of these teams an opportunity to just kind of, draw it back in, especially for North Georgia. Just, talk things over here and try to get back on the same page. And definitely let Clayton State, kind of do what they want over these last about 10 minutes or so. You want to try to limit these opportunities, especially now with Pais back into the game. Maybe try to get Osmond Basic back in here as well with about 12 minutes to go to try to climb back into this one.
And it looks like Lukic is going to potentially stay in the game, actually. Yeah, he's back up on his feet, and Lukic is staying in this one.
How about that? That's just a great sight to see. Lukic is all right, and, especially with the emotions of this game and how big of a regular season matchup this is, it's probably going to take a lot to take Lukic out of this game, so it's great to see that he's all right.
Yeah, what we saw could have been potentially a scary injury. Not trying to speculate on any of that, but, for him to get back up and good to go, not even step off the pitch and then come back in, just going right back in and never coming off. So everybody catching up on their breaths. Under 12 minutes to go here. Clayton State up 2-0 over North Georgia. North Georgia, top of the Peach Belt Conference standings with a 3-1 record in conference play. North Georgia trying to get to 4 wins here. Someone's kicked way out of play by Clayton State. Whistle's called, and it looks like North Georgia and Clayton State are going to be making some substitutions. And Santiago Cano coming back onto the pitch for North Georgia. and Samuel Gomez as well for the Nighthawks. 11:18 left to go. New rule this season in Division II. Substitutions made after 15 minutes, especially by the leading team, stops the clock. And Stefan Chongo has an opportunity here, and he gets it! North Georgia pulls it back into one! Stefan Chongo! Chongo coming up with a clutch goal for the Nighthawks.
And what did we say? That Chongo steps up when it matters most in the second half. A beautiful shot there past the goalkeeper, keeps it on the ground, and it's a whole different ball game here in Dahlonega, Devin.
It is North Georgia pulling it in within one, avoiding a potential shutout here. This momentum maybe possibly swinging out, and that's, as you mentioned there, a player to watch out for in a situation where it looks like all Clayton State, but Stefan Chongo coming up clutch and getting North Georgia's first goal of the game. 10:47 left to go in this one. North Georgia looking to pick up back-to-back wins against Clayton State for the first time since the 2017 and 2018 seasons.
Yeah, Chongo, just another example of a player on this North Georgia team that has just stepped up big. That's now his third goal of the season.
DJ Shin over here for the Nighthawks. This one deflected off Laker. Now over to Lorda. Now over to Tyler Vitelli. And then it was Samuel Gomez breaking out, and it's Chongo again. And it was a very similar situation there, Robert, that we saw just a few minutes ago, where it could have been one-on-one. Stefan Chongo with Mauricio Arube.
Yeah, you can see Chongo kind of walking away from the play with a smile on his face. He knew what that opportunity could have spelled there. Just another great through ball from the Nighthawks. Couldn't capitalize on that one, though, but that's exactly what you want to see if you're Coach Lilich.
Under 10 minutes now. Clayton State up 2-1. If you're just joining us, was a defensive holdout for most of this game. It wasn't until the 65th minute that Clayton State got its first goal. Alex Rodriguez scoring that goal in the 65th minute, and then a little bit later on in the 78th, it was Hector Nieto scoring a goal, and then just recently Stefan Chongo for North Georgia, pulling it within one. We'll see what happens here, and the deflection from Alexa Lukic.
That one may have just gotten a piece of the right crossbar, too. That bottom corner, but Lukic was there to make the play.
Clock stopped with just under 9 minutes to go. Corner kick for Clayton State. That one set into the box, deflected out of the box. What looked like to be Lukovic there. Seen Vukasin, Lukovic flying all over the place for this Nighthawks defense tonight.
Yeah, definitely making a handful of hustle plays out there as we have another whistle, but
yellow card.
Oh, wow.
Being issued to, looks like yellow card being issued to Alexis Aitoria of Clayton State. That's not a player on the Clayton State side of things you want to see potentially exit the game.
Yeah, he'll definitely probably be on his best behavior through that one. This was, looked like a card on North Georgia, actually. Clayton State got the throw in.
Stefan Chongo. And it looks like there was a hold there by a Laker player. Yellow card coming out. That one now might be either against Hector Nieto or, as we were just mentioning, Alexis Aitoria. So free kick. North Georgia just kicks this one back in. Now on the far side to Daviena. Daviena's pass gets deflected, but a throw-in. Vitelli on the far side. Vitelli now throwing it in the direction of Stefan Shango. Gets headed out of the box. Now Daviena trying to regain control of the ball, and that one sails out of bounds and behind the treehouse here at Lynn Cottrell Park. Going to be another throw-in for Daviena. Daviena to Vitelli. Now back over to Vitelli again, and that one kicked away by Clayton State defender, and then DJ Shin over here on the near side for North Georgia. Shin kicking this one now over to Tyler Vitelli. Now Vitelli over to Gomez. Gomez's kick gets kicked out. Now it goes over back to Lukovic.
If you're North Georgia, though, you could benefit from some of the Lakers stepping back, trying to get a through ball into somebody as the Lakers try to flip the field here.
Yeah, Clayton State on a counterattack here. Let's see what they do, and they kick it just left of the goal post.
Let's go. Come on, let's go, Black.
Now 7 minutes to go. North Georgia down by 1. Looking to find their equalizer here late in the second half.
Yeah, Sandoval trying to track it down. The leader in the Peach Belt Conference in assists this year. Definitely want to see him involved in this attack game as well late.
Laker player going down on the pitch on the far side. Gets back up.
Stop the pocket.
Now the ball's over in the right wing. Now inside the box for Clayton State. And that one deflected away by a couple Nighthawks. Clayton State. Ball over back in the right wing and out of bounds. Or it's still in play, but gets caught by Alexa Lukic. This one sailed over here on the near side, and it'll bounce out of bounds with Tyler Vitelli. And time will stop as Clayton State is going to make 2 substitutions here. We mentioned if your team is in the lead under 15 minutes, a new rule in the Division II soccer, the clock will stop. So the clock stop was exactly 6 minutes on the board. Number 12, Andre Jimenez coming back on, and it looks like number 8, Fala Johnson Jr. coming back onto the pitch for Clayton State. So it's a throw-in for the Lakers. Vitelli over here regains possession. Now over to Pais. Pais back over to Vitelli. Shango over there. And it's broken up by a few Clayton State players.
And those are the opportunities that you have to capitalize on if you're North Georgia. These through balls into your streaking forwards here. That could have been a great opportunity for North Georgia, trying to capitalize on either an open goal like we saw from Shango or even a potential penalty kick. We know North Georgia has really capitalized off those this year. They have 4 here in 2024. They had 3 all of last year. They're 4 for 4 this year. We'll see if they can make something happen with 5:15 to go.
Go. Come on. Go.
So we got just 5 minutes to go. Clayton State went up 2-0
What you see?
in the second half. Then North Georgia, Stefan Shango pulling it back within 1. As now Clayton State trying to make a counterattack. See what North Georgia having to readjust here. Is now North Georgia regains control. On the far side, now kicked over to Stefan Shango. Shango back over there in the box, but isn't able to get the ball down quite right. But now bounced over from midfield, whistle called.
No, it was offside.
Looks like
I don't know why he called that because we had the ball.
4:30 left to go. DJ Shin here on the near side. North Georgia looking to tie this one late here against Clayton State in a big Peach Belt Conference matchup. Now they call offsides on North Georgia. That looked like that was Santiago Cano for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, just a tough break there for North Georgia. You can really feel the momentum shifting in their direction. Like I said, crowd starting to get into it here. The Nighthawk faithful cheering this team on, trying to tie this game up.
This one kicked from the back end by Mohamed Mohordes. Under 4 minutes to go now. Clayton State up 2-1 over North Georgia. A heads-up play by Aaron Overmars for Clayton State. That one kicked out of the box by, and that was an open goal situation for the Nighthawks potentially, as Alexa Lukic almost nearly came out of the box. Time will stop with 3:19. North Georgia making a substitution here.
But what a fantastic play there made by Lukovic. Goal was wide open. Clayton State took the shot, and he just stood strong there, doing his best goalkeeper impression to keep Clayton State off the board.
Edmund Hodzic coming onto the field for North Georgia. We got 3:19 left. Clayton State up 2-1. North Georgia looking to come from behind in the second half. As Clayton State players are signaling for the players that are downfield to come up a little bit more. So you got Lukic and another Nighthawk player down there, probably deciding where to kick this one. You got to presume it's deep here. 3:19 left to go in the game. No overtime in regular season play.
Yeah, you got to think Shango's going to get a touch here.
Shango waiting back deep for North Georgia. In fact, going to go in the area of Shango as he now goes over to Hodzic and will land out of play. Throw in for Clayton's. Another stoppage of time here. 2:59 left to go. Throw in for Clayton State. This is DJ Shin taking this one, or excuse me, Aram Laura.
Come on, Black, let's go!
Yeah, don't expect to see any more substitutions. These are probably the players that Coach Lilich is going to go with for these final few minutes.
Shango almost took a big hit there. Now Clayton State trying to make something happen. And that ball nearly landing out of play. Aram Lorda over there on the near right side.
Let's go, let's go!
Now North Georgia in hurry-up mode as we got 2:15 left to go in the game. Now Daviena. Daviena gets tripped up. They call it. It's going to be a free kick for North Georgia.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Lukovic going to kick this one deep for the Nighthawks. Over in the area of Stefan Shango.
Too many white shirts back there.
Now Pais on the right, on the far side of the field now.
Yeah, Shango's being swarmed. It's North Georgia has to play that next man up mentality. Somebody else has got to make a play.
And offsides on Fala Johnson Jr.
Come on, what you see?
North Georgia playing in hurry up as we got 1:20 left to go. Tyler Vitelli trying to get something to happen here. North Georgia trying to get that one in, but gets deflected off a Clayton State player.
Oh no, he called goal kick. He called goal kick.
Yeah, Vitelli not happy with the call here. None of the Nighthawks are. Is this because it's going to be a goal kick for Clayton State? They could bleed some clock.
So under a minute left, North Georgia down by one, looking to pick up the back-to-back wins against Clayton State for the first time since 2017 through the 18th season. Clock stopped with 49.1 seconds on the board. Refs are meeting on the left wing. Alexa Lukic coming way out of the box, coming up to midfield.
Yeah, this is a big call here. This late in the game, like we said, there was a bunch of confusion out there on the field. North Georgia thought it was going to be their ball, and Clayton State was preparing for the throw-in, or not the throw-in, the goal kick, I should say. But regardless, this benefits North Georgia because the clock has stopped.
This is clock stopped at 49.1 seconds left to go. North Georgia down by one against Clayton State. So now we're going to have, looks like a goal kick for the Nighthawks.
maybe some confusion.
You're adding.
Here on
You're
the
going
clock.
up to 59 seconds on the clock.
I'm going with him.
He's got a goal kick for North Georgia. See what happens here. North Georgia looking to tie this one against Clayton State. This one set into the box and outwards over to Aram Laura. Laura, the only Nighthawk out there. Now sent into the box over into Shango's area. Whistle's called. Clock ticking, 45 seconds. Clock stops with 43.7.
No, it was in the box.
Yeah, North Georgia just tough break there. Called on the offsides, and now Clayton State just may try to play a bit of keep away here.
And Clayton State now inside the box. See what happens here. Dangerous situation for the Nighthawks. North Georgia able to get a foot on that one, kick that one out of the box. 30 seconds left to go. Now headed by Clayton State. North Georgia needing to move it into the other side of the field. Vitelli gets tripped up. No call. Now on the far side of the field. That's Jorge Sandoval. We got 15 seconds left. And it's going to be a throw in for Clayton State, and what will most likely wrap this one up. The one thrown in around midfield. North Georgia, see if they got anything with 2 seconds, and nothing happens here. And this game is over. And what was a defensive standout or holdout through most of that game, it wasn't until the goals got scored in the second half. Clayton State coming up victorious 2-1. It was a defensive stranglehold there. Clayton State got a little bit hot in that little bit of the second half, and then Stefan Shango getting that one goal for North Georgia to pull themselves back into one. But what was your overall takeaway and closing thoughts on this game?
It was definitely more of an exhilarating final 45 minutes between these two teams. Finally saw Clayton State and North Georgia get on the board, but ultimately it was just the 17 shots compared to 3 for North Georgia that Clayton State were able to get off. 6 of those shots coming on goal for the Lakers. A couple of miscommunications in goal for Lukic as well was ultimately, a couple of the deciding factors in this one. But you like to see the fight here from North Georgia. We've seen time and time again that they are down but never out of any contest. And, of course, you want to come away with the tie or the win here in this one. But North Georgia fought hard until the end, just couldn't come away victorious.
Yeah, we saw both some of North Georgia's and Clayton State's best players, North Georgia, Rafael Oliveira, Pais, and then on for Clayton State, Alexis Ituria. Both of them tuned down a little bit. Both defenses able to hold them and shut them out. Alexis Ituria now goalless through 3 games, and Rafael Oliveira, Pais, not much in this one, but both defenses able to shut some of the best players out from each team.
Yeah, expect to see both players, both Ituria and Pais, step up in their next contests. 2 of the best scorers in the Peach Belt Conference. Like I said, these 2 defenses held them in check in this game, but again, it was that next man-up mentality for both sides that ended up leading to the scoring in this game.
Well, North Georgia's 3-game winning streak snapped here in Dahlonega as they're going to head on to the road next week against Anderson University, and that's going to be on the road in Anderson, South Carolina. That's next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the road at Anderson, South Carolina. So your final score, once again, North Georgia just falling short. Clayton State 2-1 here in Dahlonega. And North Georgia falls to 3-2 in the Peach Belt standings and 4-4-1 overall on the season. But it was a exciting matchup here, especially in the second half. North Georgia falling just 2-1 to Clayton State. We wrap things up here in Dahlonega. For Devin Kupka and Robert D. Clemente saying so long. Have a great night, everybody. Once again, your final score, Clayton State